The Fantasy Fanatics Podcast on SportsTownChicago.com. Welcome back to Fantasy Fanatics on SportsTownChicago.com. I'm Ryan Stuppridge.
I'm Andrew Freeman.
I'm Ryan Risky.
And
no dancing for Freeman today?
We are going to have our NFL Week 8 picks coming up right about now.
All right, let's do this.
All right, we're going to recap last week, just so you guys know. So we will.
I picked all the games right.
No.
I don't think anybody did that, but we'll recap that first, and here we go. The Jets in New England, we all picked New England there. They ended up winning. Atlanta.
Did that shock anyone?
No, of course not.
Really.
Atlanta and Baltimore. We all picked Baltimore. Baltimore won. That was exciting.
Yay.
Titans and Washington. Me and Andrew picked Washington. Ryan Risky picked the Titans. He got that one incorrect.
Ooh.
So that was not good.
The Titans have just fallen off, man.
They really have.
Yeah, the Jake Locker experiment's officially over.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Who's the next game? Next game was Seattle and St. Louis. We all picked Seattle. St. Louis upset them.
I cannot believe that happened.
It was very
St. Louis
surprising.
got a lot of smart. The special teams won that game for St. Louis.
I agree.
That punt return by Tavon Austin, or I forget who it was. The fake by Austin, and then they had a 90-yard punt return, and then the fake punt to seal the deal.
Austin Davis, top 15 QB for fantasy next year. Stay tuned.
Get him an O-line in the receiving core.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. Cleveland and Jacksonville. Cleveland ended up beating Jacksonville. We all picked that correct. Or Jacksonville won, right? Who won that game?
That was Jacksonville.
Okay, so we all picked that incorrectly.
Ah, man.
Wow.
Cincinnati and Indiana, we all picked that correct. Indiana won. Minnesota and Buffalo. Andrew and Ryan Risky picked Buffalo. I picked Minnesota in an upset, and it almost happened, but it did not happen. I lost on that one.
Is that really an upset with two terrible teams?
Well, the Bills have a good defense, though.
They do have a good defense. That's about it.
It's not like the Bills are awful. They're a 9-7 or 8-8 team.
Yeah, they're an 8-8, I'd say.
Miami and Chicago, we all picked the Bears, and that didn't fare too well for us.
We weren't the only ones. All the experts online were saying the Bears were going to win.
I know. Everybody picked the Bears, and that's exactly why the Bears
Down
lost.
the board. Everybody.
New Orleans and Detroit. Ryan Risky picked Detroit. Andrew and I picked New Orleans, but that did not happen.
I don't think New Orleans is as good as we think they are.
No.
Was I really the only one that picked that right?
You were.
You picked it correctly. Carolina and Green Bay. We all picked Green Bay. That was pretty easy.
Green Bay's rolling.
Kansas City and San Diego. Me and Andrew picked Kansas City. Ryan Risky stuck with his Chargers. Wah, wah, wah.
Didn't you pick the Chargers too?
No, I picked Kansas City.
Wait, I'm thinking about this week, Denver against the Chargers.
Yes, I did pick the Chargers this week. Arizona and Oakland, we all picked Arizona. Arizona won.
Of course.
The Giants and Dallas, we all picked Dallas. Dallas won.
Yep.
49ers and Denver. I picked the 49ers in an upset, and they ended up losing. But I was very disappointed in that because I really thought the 49ers had a good chance.
Yeah, what a shock I didn't pick the 49ers to win.
You picked Denver along with Andrew.
Oh, well, they played Denver. How do you not pick Denver?
I don't know. I was thinking upset. So now it's 2 weeks in a row where I haven't picked Denver.
That's bad.
Yeah,
bad.
that I'm gonna be honest. That kind of makes you sound like a bit of a moron. I don't pick Peyton Manning to win.
Right. You all. Yeah. Well.
I understand this week.
I
You
understand
win
this
some,
week,
you lose
though.
some. Texas and Pittsburgh. Andrew picked Texas or Houston, and Ryan and I picked the Steelers. The Steelers ended up winning. I was rooting for the Texans because I like the Texans, but they ended up losing.
Antonio Brown, what a game! He would have had a monster game if had that touchdown not been called back.
Antonio's had amazing numbers across the board.
Hey, he threw a passing touchdown.
Yeah. And now the totals for the week. I ended up with 9 points. Andrew ended up with 10. And Ryan Risky ended up with 10. So it ends in a tie between Andrew and Ryan Risky. If I would have picked one more game correctly that you guys didn't, then I would have won.
Should have picked Denver.
Should have picked Denver.
Yep.
I should have.
You really should have picked Denver.
Third week in a row I've gone double digits. I'm proud of myself. That's a turnaround from having 4
I'm
wins.
assuming the totals overall, it's close between Ryan Risky and Andrew, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Okay, so San Diego and Denver for this week. These are our NFL Week 8 picks. You can check out all our picks on on this show. Yeah, Fantasy Fanatics, SportsTownChicago.com, which is what we're on right now. San Diego and Denver. Andrew picked Denver. Ryan Risky and I picked San Diego. Andrew was the only one to get a point.
I had to pick San Diego, though, because Phillip Rivers is my quarterback in both of my fantasy leagues.
And like you heard earlier, I predicted score. Denver, I had predicted 31, San Diego 23, so that's why I beat.
That's a pretty good. That's actually
pretty darn close. Yeah.
Christian Simpson got beat.
We got Detroit and Atlanta. Detroit travels into Atlanta, which is actually traveling to London because they're playing at London. And I did get confirmation on that, Ryan Risky, that it will be an 8:30 a.m. Central Time kickoff.
Yeah, I'm not getting up for that, especially not with WNUR.
Dude, that makes me so happy that there's a game that early.
That's actually nice that there is.
It's pretty cool. But anyway, I'm taking Detroit to go into London and beat Atlanta on neutral field. How about you?
Atlanta is just in shambles right now. That O-line is a disaster. They have no running game. The defense is one of the worst in the NFL. Matt Ryan can only do so much, so I got to go with Detroit.
Make it a sweep.
All right. We're all picking Detroit over Atlanta. Minnesota and Tampa Bay. This is going to be kind of tough. Minnesota goes into Tampa Bay. This is kind of a tough pick since they're both pretty bad.
Yeah.
But I think I'm going to have to go with Minnesota, and I know I keep picking them, but I'm going to have to go Minnesota.
Losing, right?
I know they keep losing.
Who do they play?
Tampa Bay. They're playing at Tampa Bay.
I got to go. I think Lovie Smith finally gets another win.
All right, so Ryan Risky is going with Tampa Bay.
The Lovie Smith defense will show up.
And who are you going with, Andrew?
This is hard.
It is hard.
I'm going to go with Tampa Bay as well.
Okay.
McKinnon will have to really break free of this one to get anything going.
It's true. Buffalo at the Jets.
I don't know how anyone could pick the New York Jets. I'm going Buffalo.
I'm going Buffalo as well.
Sweep.
We got Buffalo. The defense is just too strong. I mean, especially against the Jets. Chicago and New England. Now, this is something interesting. I am taking the Bears. I think that the Bears are the type of team where when everybody thinks they win, they lose. When everybody thinks they lose, they win. I think everyone's going to be picking New England, which is why I'm picking Chicago.
I'm just being a homie. And you know, let's see, I might have taken a picture of this. Let me see if I have it. You know how do you guys get the Chicago Tribune?
I do not.
Well, I got it. So every week they have like a list of Bears experts that pick the games every week. Brad Biggs, Matt Bowen, Rich Campbell, David Hoff, Fred Mitchell, Mike Mulligan, and Dan Widener. Do you want to hear what their records are on the year for picking games?
Sure. Yes.
Biggs is 2-5, or Biggs is 2-5. Bowen's 2-5. Campbell's 1-6. Hawes 1-6. Mitchell's 3-4. Mike Mulligan is 0-7. Dan Widener is 1-6.
So here at Fantasy Fanatics, we actually pick better than the people that post on the newspaper.
I picked more games than all of these guys, and last week they all picked the Bears to win.
All right, Andrew.
Week one they all picked the Bears to win, and week two they all picked the 49ers to win.
I'm gonna have to go with New England on this one.
You're gonna take New England.
I'm being a homie and going with the Bears.
Yeah, I'm also taking the Bears.
This is what's gonna separate me from the. I'm not a fanboy.
Right. Seattle goes to Carolina. I gotta go Seattle. I think they're gonna win this game.
Carolina's defense is just not there this year.
Seattle's lost 2 in a row.
Yes, they have.
I'm going to have them bounce back and beat Carolina.
Yeah.
All right, we all take Seattle. Miami at Jacksonville. I'm assuming there will be a lot of Dolphins fans there. Just because Miami sort of runs that state.
Jacksonville has no fan base.
No.
They have more fans in London than they do.
Yeah. So who are we all going with?
I will stick to the Miami Dolphins after what they did to the Bears. I really feel like they're actually going to have a winning streak.
I'm taking Miami as well.
I'm going to take Jacksonville in an upset. I think they're going to ride the momentum from actually winning a game, and Blake Bortles will play better.
Denard Robinson's going to run for 100 yards again?
300 yards.
300 yards.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Okay, we got Baltimore and Cincinnati. I'm taking Cincinnati.
Baltimore. That Cincinnati defense is horrible. The wide receiver corps is awful now with A.J. Green and Marvin Jones out. And even if Green plays, it's in limited capacity and he can't run. And Andy Dalton proved that no wide receiver core proved to be a problem for Andy Dalton.
I want to say Seattle so bad because I think AJ's going to be back, but I'm going to have to go with Baltimore and Flacco.
You're going with Baltimore over Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm the only one taking Cincinnati. We'll see how that turns out for me.
That might bring you back.
I may be screwed here for forever. Houston at Tennessee. I'm taking Houston.
I'm also taking Houston.
I'll go Houston.
It's a sweep.
All right. St. Louis at Kansas City. I'm going to take Kansas City at home. It's very tough to beat Kansas City at Arrowhead.
I agree.
Kansas City, I'll go them. Kansas City, too.
I mean, you see those crazy fans at the Kansas City Royals games.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I'm going Kansas City.
So we're all taking Kansas City. Philadelphia at Arizona. This is a huge game.
Philadelphia.
You're going Philadelphia. I'm actually taking Arizona. I think Arizona could be the surprise team of the season. I think they continue to win.
I'm going to also go with Arizona because I'm not too sure about Foles, even though he's my quarterback.
That's the thing.
Yeah, who are you starting this week?
For our league, I think Fitz. No, Foles. I'm starting Foles.
Over Tannehill, who plays Jacksonville?
Yes.
Wow. That's a gutsy move, but we'll have to see if it pays off.
He needs to do anything to try to beat me.
It's true.
Indiana at the Steelers. I'm taking Indiana. I don't think they're going to lose.
Wow.
This is kind of tough because, I mean, the Steelers aren't that bad. They had a pretty good showing against a Texans team that's not terrible.
Yeah, I'll go with Colts.
Okay, we're all taking the Colts. Oakland at Cleveland. Who do you got?
Cleveland.
I'm going with the upset, Oakland.
Oakland, wow.
Yep.
I can't take the upset here. I got to stay conservative here and go Cleveland.
I guess Freeman only doesn't like Jacksonville.
That's true. You must be reading my blogs.
Hey, are you reading his blogs?
No. I'm just reading his mind.
All right, the big Sunday night game. Green Bay and New Orleans.
New Orleans.
Green Bay.
In a shootout.
It will be a shootout, but I'm going to agree with Green Bay.
I agree with you, Ryan Risky. I'm going to take New Orleans. I just think Green Bay is due for a loss, and I can laugh in prime time with the rest of the Bears fans as Green Bay loses. Washington at Dallas for the Monday night game. I got to take Dallas. I mean, it's pretty easy.
Yeah, I have to take Dallas, too.
Dallas.
All right.
Sweep.
So that's it. Those are our picks. And you can tweet us yours at our Twitter handles at Ryan Stuprich, Stuprich.
Or at Freeman Radio.
Or at rrisky16.
Yes, let us know what you think. The Fantasy Fanatics Podcast on SportsTownChicago.com.